Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? No idea what's going on with the mic. No input for some reason this morning. It's working now though, by the looks of things. Just unplugged it and plugged it back in again. Turn it off and on again. It always works. Right, start again. Australian cash rate. So yeah, we had a so basically didn't do any of that, did you? I took a quick short on the DAX this morning. Dropped down. I had a pending under there, and then I put a pending under this IRB. Took off 0.5%. Aussie dollar. Oh God, this is technically a challenging morning, isn't it? Aussie dollar, obviously, cash rate was 0.1. Aussie dollar went crazy, went silly strong, and is still silly strong by the looks of things. We got PMI this afternoon. I'm not here this afternoon. I'm out and about this afternoon. I'm going over to with my spin instructor who's got an exam. I'm going to be a body for her exam. So I'm not around this afternoon, unfortunately. So there won't be any live room this afternoon. So Aussie dollars, obviously ADRs today, all Aussie dollar related. As you can see, the Aussie dollar's collapsed, 125. Aussie dollar against the pound has collapsed, but the Aussie dollar obviously has been massively strong off the back of that. Again, one of those weird moves. It's as expected. It's all factored into the market. There's no shocks whatsoever, and yet this thing's done 125 ADR in an hour. Market's really off at the moment. There's no reason for this to move that fast, that hard off the back of an expected rate announcement. But it has 150 off of the news, on the Aussie US. So it's all completely crazy. What these are going to do today, I don't know, because I wouldn't expect it to move that fast, and hard in the first place. So yeah, big strong push to the downside there. So expecting a pullback on this, definitely, and on all of these. Quite when though, difficult. So you need to drop down onto lower time frames for these, and sort of look for reversal alerts. I would probably play these with a stop. I wouldn't enter positions on these, but just look for reversals. We're well extended. As you know, with most of these moves that we get, if there's no fundamental reason for the move and it's unexpected, we typically get them faded. So I would play the fade on all of these and look for opportunities to fade them all back. There's no reason why I can see that the Australian dollar should be that strong off of an expected rate announcement. Typically, we see it if it's expected go in the direction of the COT. Obviously, COT's not really, I don't think, as reliable at the minute. And I think they should all fade. So all of them, wait for price action to show you that it's starting to shift in the opposite direction, and then look for fades on them all. I would. They all look pretty good. I might take a couple of these myself today. Waiting for some price action to sort of kick in. So I'm monitoring them on my other monitor just to see where they go. But yeah, all those ADRs today, you'll have them on RSIs as well, all lit up. Some fours as well. So we'll have a look at those in a sec. Indices. DAX obviously shot down this morning. Market's just opened. No, it hasn't. Sorry. Got 1 minute to the open. So we shot down this morning. I've just taken another position on there. I might take that off actually. Or actually I might extend that to 2%. I'm probably going to get stopped out on this initial one at the open by the looks of things. And we got 15 seconds. So with indices, basically yesterday we had crazy moves to the upside, really big day, and it ended huge. Just got stopped out in that initial position. See where we go at the open. So pushing back up at the open. So yeah, we had a big bull move. So we got the gap filled, came back down. We tapped into the lows of the previous day and we pushed straight back up again. This morning was a tiny little gap. We have still got that gap to fill. But it's very odd movement yesterday on the DAX. All the other indices, big strong days. So again, kind of confirming this potentially this bear market that everybody is expecting to collapse is not happening. So I'm just going to short one on the DAX up here. Just looking for them to sort of fade this move up and then potentially come down. So we've had obviously an update. I'm expecting some kind of pullback at least if we are going to continue to the upside on all of these. Basically, this might be it. It's not far, is it? But potentially this is high of day. We're going to have a down day today, so we'll see what happens. So just putting up into the 2050 at the moment. I'm going to trade fairly light today because I'm not here this afternoon. So if I can get sort of 0.5% in the bank this morning, I'll probably just hold that. I've had 0.5% in the bank and just given that back. But 1% would be nice. Blimey, there you go. Minus. Right, I'm out for the day. Bye. It's going to be one of those days again. The opening range is too wide to trade. Can't trade it. God. It's going to be one of those weeks. I think I might actually take the week off. It's funny, isn't it? You get a trade, you get a funded account. As soon as you start trading the funded account, it completely unravels. It's always the way. Got 2 minutes left on this candle. That's a big opening range. Not quite sure how to trade that. We'll let that run for a minute. So all the ADRs basically are Aussies. We've been through those. We've got also New Zealand dollar, US dollar has hit ADR as well today. Off the back of the Australian move. So big moves up on that as well. Big moves to the upside for the New Zealand dollar. Obviously these tend to move in tandem together. A lot of the time, so not as strong as the Aussie dollar because obviously the news was on the Aussie dollar, but all of these are potential fades as well today, so look for reversal opportunities. Those they're still going. Aussie US, look, 150 now, still going, so looking for opportunities on these to fade them today. Sorry, so looking at what we've got hits on the RSIs at the moment, most of them obviously are the Aussie dollars, as you can see. So Aussie dollar CAD, Aussie dollar Swiss, Aussie dollar yen, Aussie dollar Aussie dollar yen, Aussie dollar New Zealand. So all RSI extensions. Looking for the 80-20s basically. So Aussie US at the moment is the best of the bunch. That's the one that's also hit the 150 area as well. So looking to sort of fade some shorts on that one on lower time frames. So not that big. So looking for reversal alerts on those to the downside. Euro odd. Obviously that's hit to the downside, looking for shorts on the euro, so I'm not going to try and fade that one. Of all the fades, this is probably the one that is going to be the most difficult one to do. Euro CAD and Euro Pound have also got extended. Euro New Zealand, Pound odd, massively extended. Pound is just falling out of bed with the same as the euro at the minute. It's just shot. So there's no end in sight for this thing. It's just not stopping. We've got another level coming up I'm not quite sure what that level was from. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. So it's this level here from back in 2018. That's the next kind of stop. We stopped there and we stopped there. You can't quite see it because the chart's really scaled out. But this is an area that has been respected multiple times. You can see it hit there as well. So it's a 4-time hit and exactly where we are at the moment. So from a bounce perspective, we're approaching a pretty good level here. We're not quite there yet. It's just pretty much there. So somewhere around here, there is potential for a nice bounce. We've respected it many times in the past. So a good looking long opportunity down there. But obviously off the back of this Australian move, I'm not quite sure exactly what this Aussie move is. But just got to be a little bit careful down there. So again, stops on it, but looking like a good level to potentially come off today on that one. And New Zealand dollar Swiss and New Zealand dollar US dollar also just started to get extended on the hourlies as well. So it's up to you if you want to take any of these on the M5. Obviously these RSI extensions at these levels. Personally, I'm waiting for sort of 80-20 levels really to get into things. Not that I'm really getting anything at the moment, but that's where I would be looking to make sure it's really nicely extended. What's the DAX doing? Oh, lovely. Cheers, DAX. So I had the right trade. Stopped out again. This is the same as yesterday. Just total whipsaw. Far too much price action coming in far too quickly. So I had the right trade idea there. Just didn't manage to get the execution, unfortunately. Where did I get stopped out on that one? Sort of up there, wasn't it? Couldn't make it up. So I'm in short again, and self-stop under those lows, looking to take another short. So 0.5 down now. If I can grab 1% out of these, I'm going to call it a day, I think. If I can take 0.5% off the board this morning, I'll be happy with that. Definitely a wick-off spring type look about it. What, the pound odd? That's not a wick-off spring, that's a collapse. A wick-off spring you would find would be more of an accumulation. It's a small move. It's a final stop hunt. It doesn't go more than sort of half an ADR. This is gone on that one. It's just collapsed. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very odd move. I wouldn't expect it to be quite as aggressive, this one. Yeah, it's very hard to go against the Australian dollar. Morning, Murahat. Right, 4 hours. So I'm just watching, monitoring the DAX at the minute. Why is that on 1 hour? There we go. Very odd price action. The S&P and the Nasdaq both done the same thing. Total whipsaw this morning. We had this at the open yesterday. They came up and filled the gap in the Globex session very nicely. And they've just literally taken out the highs up there and double bottomed, which is worrying because that's a sign of a long, but we'll see. Seems okay at the moment. Right, 4 hours. So Aussie dollar CAD. Very nice extended on the 4 hour again. Again, these are all Aussie dollars, obviously. So looking at what we got out of it last time we got extended, wasn't a lot, was it? Strong uptrend on this thing at the minute. So the fact that we're up here looking for some kind of reversal, I'd probably be looking to come down to these highs. So roughly 1.5 ADR of drop on it. But by the time you get into it and get some confirmation that we're actually starting to come down, you're obviously going to have less room to move on that one. So Aussie dollar CAD's looking pretty good. It's just got over the 75 level. So next 4 hour candle, this is going to light up as well. Potentially, if this keeps pushing, we'll be up here. So good looking opportunity for a short on this one. Aussie dollar, US dollar as well. Again, very nice extended. I'm happy to get into an entry on this one. I'll just trail the stop up basically on this. So just keep moving this up as we keep pushing higher. Probably won't get in on a reversal alert. Let's have a look at M5. Yeah, probably get in on M5 actually. So each of these peaks is holding. So we would look for the support rectangle to hold price up if we're going to continue with another leg. And as we keep continuing up, I'm going to trail a stop underneath the lows and let the reversal alert take me in. And look to come and fade this. Most of the time we fade them. So no reason why we shouldn't do this one. There's nothing expected in that news. Nothing unexpected in that news. So no reason for this massive movement. Euro odd. 4 hour massively extended to the downside. I'm not looking to long the euro. I'm always looking to short this thing. So yeah, not interested in any of these euros. All of them are extended to the downside. If you're going to take them, you've just got to be very wary of every support and resistance and every candlestick in the opposite direction on these. Massive strong moves, tiny accumulation, another drop, pull back up, potentially next leg down. It's not going well for the euro at all, is it? So not really looking to take longs on these. There is a potential nice double bottom on euro CAD. So that's a nice move. Somewhere up into this propulsion gap here, potentially a short. But other than that, it's not quite extended enough for me, and obviously it's in the wrong direction, so I'm not sure. Euro Swiss has come right down. There's loads of room on this one. There's nothing to stop this really. There's this little accumulation here at this support resistance, which is exactly where we are now. If that breaks, there's nothing to stop this at all, coming all the way down there. So big drop potentially on that one. Going to need a pullback, I think, to get down there, but so that's just got extended. It's not quite extended enough either. I want to see it in the sort of 75.25 area. Euro pound as well. The euro's coming down now against the pound, which shows that the pound is slightly stronger than the euro, which tells you how bad that euro is at the minute, because the pound is shot. So if the euro pound is coming down, it's not good news. So again, don't really want to be looking at long opportunities on that one. So I'm just don't want to take two positions on that. Short. Just looking for a break of these lows on the DAX. I'm in one short. Come on, I was thinking about it. FTSE's dropped out the bottom of the earth. FTSE's definitely going down pretty hard. S&P and the NAS are both testing the lows as well, trying to test the lows. Getting a little bit of resistance down here, so we'll see if we get that pop through the bottom. This is a quadruple bottom going in here. See if we can get that popped. If that pops, we should get a good move out the lows here. But if it doesn't, this could be potentially putting lower the session in here. Indecision. Still got a minute left on this candle. We'll see where they take it in the last minute. Nasdaq, Euro pound. Remember where we got to. Euro pound. Nasdaq and the S&P both doing the same at the minute. Just retesting these lows here, but not really getting through them. Yes, Wiki is lots of wicks. Wiki is. It's horrible. It's just horrible at the minute. This is exactly what we had yesterday. This is what killed me yesterday. It was all going well yesterday morning, and then the afternoon session, it literally was wick after wick after wick. We had just that, didn't we? It doesn't matter which way you got in. It just got you. Horrible price action. Same as today. That's no help, is it? So there's our trading. So this is this is where the market is happy to conduct business at the moment. What's all that all about? Looks bullish. US dollar is coming down quite hard as well. So potentially we might see some upside on these indices this morning. The FTSE's coming down pretty hard though, which is a good sign. The Dow's a little bit more bearish as well. So I'll go back to the 4 hours in a minute. I'm just watching, see what happens here. Any reason behind this? No idea. It's just liquidity. There's just a lot of liquidity landing at the moment. At the open, we're just getting these big flurries of contracts coming in at the open. We normally see a more orderly move, but at the moment it doesn't seem to want to be very orderly this week. I'm just going to watch that on the other chart. We'll monitor that. So euro pound, yeah. So again, euro pound, not really interested in longs on this. Not interested in longs on anything with the euro in it at the minute. And euro New Zealand, same thing. Obviously, we are coming down to a good level. So, excuse me. There's two of these which are pretty good. Euro New Zealand. If we don't turn here, which is unlikely, there is a good chance that we will get a bounce, even with obviously support that doesn't hold. Typically, it bounces before it breaks, so we should still get a bounce down here for a small scalp type move on this one. So Euro New Zealand and the Euro CAD both hitting these lows. Obviously, if you don't get the bounce and it just closes straight through it, It's not a trade, is it? So worth monitoring though, Euro CAD and Euro New Zealand for a bounce trade. Euro US dollar is approaching a level of potential interest as well. So we had a nice double bottom there that held previously. So if we can get down to there, likely get a bounce, possibly up into that accumulation there. And then continuation down from there. But again, the US dollar's weak at the moment. We've got a weak US dollar too. So it's, everything is weak. It seems to be it's weak against weak at the moment. And then you get the occasional flurry, and the flurries are all Australia and New Zealand. Everything else is just really dead. The pound is beating the US dollar at the moment. Yeah, so it shows you the pound is one of the weakest currencies we've got at the minute in the markets, and it's beating the US dollar. So it just shows you how weak this euro is and how weak this US dollar is at the moment. Really weird. DAX has flown. So quadruple bottom, I would say that's probably low of the day, low of the session maybe. We're not interested in that level 144.70. I'm not interested in going lower than that at the moment. If this one stops out, I'm gonna have to stop again today. It's gonna be one of those weeks this week. I'm getting to the point where if I have 3 losing days on the trot, I'm gonna knock on the head for a week. That's what I used to do with scalping. This is why I don't do it, because it drives you absolutely crazy with the losing runs. You can't help it. It's just what happens in scalping, because you're taking too many trades on complete chop time frames. You're gonna get absolutely chopped about. That's why they call it the chop. Death by 1,000 cuts. I got out of GA for a loss a while back. Yeah, good job. Not that you could know it was going to do what it did, but Yeah. This thing is not happy, is it? At all. New Zealand dollar Swiss has just hit ADR as well. Again, New Zealand dollar and Aussie dollar off the charts. Weekly range hit on the euro odd. Not that I would want to take that the opposite way, but yeah, stopped out. Auto trading off. Right, I'm done for the morning. I'm not trading anymore today. Straight into 1.5% loss at the open. 3 trades, 3 losers. Done. I'm not here this afternoon, so I'm not going to push it any further. New Zealand US dollar. 125. The further these things get extended, the better they're going to be for these pullbacks. And the faster they're likely to happen as well. So obviously reversal alerts on M5, you're going to struggle to get into these. So I'd be looking for the accumulations on the way up as the first sign of potentially being able to redraw for some reason. This platform's not very good, this MT4. Look for the accumulations, obviously, if you don't get a reverse alert, which you will do on this one now. For entries up at 125 and drops. The drops could be quite fast on these. These are pushing so hard and so fast. They quite often will come down, as we know, as fast or as hard. So that looks like a good one for short as well. So the only other thing we've got extended on the 4 hours is the pound odd. Which obviously, as we know, is miles down there. But you don't really want to get in the way of these things at the moment. Just let them carry on going to where they're going to go. The market obviously really liked that rate that has been factored in and expected for the last 18 months. So obviously they forgot to factor in the Australian dollar. Maybe they missed it off their sheet or something. But I can't see why this thing is going quite as hard as this, especially with the New Zealand dollar being towed as well. Very, very odd move. I'm just looking at how weak the pound is this morning. It's not particularly weak. Let's have a quick look at the yens as well while we're on the subject of things going crazy. The yen, obviously, we had that flurry last week where it all looked like, thank God, we're starting to do something with the yen, and then we started this week with a little bit of a spring in our step, and we're off. So looking for highs on this. At the moment, obviously, with all these yens, technically, we have broken market structure, and we are now second leg. So the second leg, obviously, as we know, can be double top. It can be an uneven high as a stop hunt or the other way. So where we are right now, we are approaching areas where potentially we're going to find resistance if we are going to find the top with all these Aussies and with all these yens. So as Peter's just said, squeeze. So the definition of a squeeze basically is it's a strong move in one direction without a profit take. Yeah, so what we get is a strong move in one direction with an accumulation and then a continuation. Yeah. So rather than getting the profit take move, which is typically what we tend to see, pulling back to support resistance, we get just an accumulation or a small flag. Yeah. So we don't know whether this is going to be a continuation of the squeeze or not yet. That will be decided when we get up to the highs on all of these. So if you look at all of the yens at the minute, that's not pushing quite as hard. We're definitely in an accumulation, obviously, at the minute. We're contracting down and we haven't got a direction. So we're waiting to see what happens with these yens. We've got the reversal alert. We've had the retest on some of them and they all look like they want to go. But this morning we are pushing up further. So if we get up to ADRs today on these, we could see next legs starting down. So these are potentially good opportunities for shorts as well. But obviously bear in mind if they do break the highs on any of these, you could potentially get obviously that uneven, that stop hunt high M pattern, and then break back down again. But equally, we could just be going off for a bounce off of the highs and then continue to the upside. So very difficult to tell what's going on with the yens at the minute, but they are all getting strong again this morning. Diamond, it sucked at the time, but it's proven to be a good decision. Yes. Got to know when to fold them. Yeah, you have. Currently stuck in Aussie dollar Swiss. Aussie dollar yen, we've got ADR as well now. Lots of ADRs today. You're currently stuck in Aussie dollar Swiss, Chad. So you're at resistance at the minute on that one. So again, sell under the lows for an exit. AF, yeah. Yeah, I mean, these all look good. This is particularly looking good now because we've got up to the double top. So a lot of people are going to be selling it. You can see they're selling it here already. So good for a fade potentially on this one. But obviously we need to wait for some signs of strength to come through on those. So I might have a go on that one myself. 56, 200. $707. So stop just above 150 ADR. 20 pip stop basically. And looking for somewhere in the region of 60 pips to the downside. Looks like a fairly good short to me. Just a technical double top bounce if it happens. Sorry, just got loads of stuff going on my phone as well. Went short or a day or so ago. Should have got out after I saw the upcoming news. Well, that news, to be fair, shouldn't really have done what it did, to be honest, I don't think. Normally factored in news, you tend to find you get a whipsaw off of it. It's used as a manipulation. For some reason, this has gone and it's holding. I'm not quite sure why. DAX has just flown off to the upside. S&P, Dow, everything. Even the FTSE's reversed. Yeah, so all gone off to the upside. Had that wrong today. Again. Oh, can't cancel Bennings. I've turned off the EA. Yeah, so all off to the upside. So this is lower day. Definitely lower session anyway. That quadruple bottom should have really taken a long reversed on that, but I can't take any more risk on this thing at the minute. It's just chopped me to pieces the last couple of days. So so that Aussie dollar Swiss, you went short a couple of days ago. Why did you take a short a couple of days ago on that? Just out of interest. It was dropping. I suppose the pullback there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good play, I think, at the top here. There's plenty of room on this to the downside. So target basically back down. Just there. Nice risk reward trade that. Close the opening gap. Flown through the opening gap. Let's have a quick look at where we're off to on the DAX. So next levels to the upside. So we came off these lows yesterday. This is where I'd be expecting us to get to if we're going to break that high. Again, we could just come straight off of this. This thing's so hard to read at the moment, the DAX. It's so hard to read because we're stuck in this stupid range. Again, you know, it's this candle. We got this gap up. And since we gapped, we got stuck. And then we had a little flurry out the back. And now we're back in it again. You know, and now we're going to be sitting in this one for however long. We seem to literally just have 2 or 3 weeks where we haven't gone anywhere. If you look, this is where we started back on the 15th of March. We're exactly the same spot. Yeah, we're just over 2 weeks in. We're back to where we were back on the 15th of March. We haven't gone anywhere. If we're in a bull market, go up. If we're in a bear market, go down. The market has got no clue at the minute where it's going with the DAX, which is just causing complete whipsaw chaos at the minute. You have the odd day where you get it right and it does what it's expected to do, and then just doesn't, does it? So not nice at the moment, the DAX. We're just rejecting those highs, so good looking short opportunity there. Stop above the high. Looking at it on the daily, could well have done our up move today. Going to paint like that. Who knows? But anyway, I'm glad I'm not trading this afternoon. I've had enough this week already. We're on Tuesday. It's not good, is it? So yeah, got a couple of FX positions that I'm going to get into. And then that's really all I'm going to be doing today. Just monitoring. So these euros, EuroCAD has already rejected these lows. Nice looking move off the bottom on the EuroCAD to start off with as well. What was the other one? Was it Euro New Zealand, wasn't it? It's got potential for a low double bottom bounce at 180R down there as well. So looking good. But obviously, just if you're going to play these bounces, just be a bit careful with them. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Going to try and get into a short on this one as well. God, it's still gone quite a bit. We're up to nearly 175 ADR now on this one. Going short Aussie US. And we'll add an additional position here to play that fade. Stop basically above 200 ADR. If we get above 200 ADR, fair play, well done Aussie, you got me. But 175 ADR pretty much by the open of London is a hell of a move to be able to sustain, considering obviously we're playing here 2 markets. The Aussie is shut, the US hasn't opened yet. London's in control at the moment. I think we've got a good chance of fading this during London, so I'm going to take a short on that Aussie US. But again, I'm not going to position trade it. We're not extended quite enough for me on the 4 hour. Oh, that's the hourly, sorry. Yeah, Aussie US, it's not extended enough. I want to be up here, really, and see it confirmed up there. Because this thing could obviously just come straight back down again. So I'm not going to position trade it. I'm just going to use a stop on this one. Anybody got any other pairs they want to have a look at the moment? DAX is still going off to the upside. Blimey. Yeah, DAX is off. So not quite sure where that one's going today. It's difficult to pick a level in there for upside. We could obviously just, wow, really off to the races. We've got some news coming or something. Yeah, negative news. Ukraine's Zelensky. There is a chance that myself and Russian President Putin will not meet. That's not good, is it? Why is the market popping to the upside on negative news? So we've completely flipped, haven't we? Every time we get negative news, the market tanks. We just got negative news and the market's just popped off it. How on earth are you meant to trade this market and read it when it just does completely the opposite to what it did last week? It's utter chaos, isn't it? Like we said yesterday, your best chance at the moment is to get a coin, flip it, put a 2-to-1 risk reward on it and walk away. You've got so much more chance of making money at the moment than trying to read technical analysis. It's just not, it's not plain ball, is it? And by the time, I'm pretty sure what we're going to see for the next hour or so is something like that now, because this is exactly what we had yesterday, wasn't it? Market moves too fast, too hard to be able to get an entry, and then we just sit there for hours. And you've got to try and scrape whatever you can out of that, because the chances of getting on this is literally luck and rather than judgment, isn't it? At the minute, that was the only clue we had this morning. If I wasn't in the market at that point, I probably would have taken that long, but I was short off the back of that move. So, yes. Anyway, right. So if no one's got any, I went short. Dare I say go? Oh, let's look at that one. Read that one already. So if no one else has got anything else to look at, I will leave it there. I'm not going to trade anymore this morning. I need some time off to just readjust my brain. Basically, it's not been a good couple of days. These couple of days, so I need to refocus. And as I'm off this afternoon, today's the day to do it. I'm just going to come back fresh tomorrow, see if we can figure out what to do with these indices. I might go back to, obviously with the indices being so crazy as they are at the moment, I might go back to trying to just trend trade the majors using price action, because they seem very orderly at the moment. Like pound US dollar, for example, we're seeing a lot less don't do that on that one. We're seeing a lot less volatility coming in on these things at the moment. And a lot more nice trending action when they do start to move. And price action is a little bit slower. I think they're just too fast at the minute, the indices, to sort of trade at the open. So golf. Profster wants to see golf. Gold. Where's my keyboard? It's going on your keyboard. Gold, yeah. So gold looking for longs, and again, still the same thing. We just not got anywhere on this thing. We've got a contraction going on at the minute, but again, look at the 24. It's flat as a pancake. We are not going anywhere at all on this thing at the minute. It's nasty. So looking for long opportunities on it. I mean, if you look at where we yesterday, we didn't get anywhere yesterday, did we? So breakout of the high, really trailing pending orders above the highs, waiting for that breakout move, at least up to the highs, I would say. But I mean, if this gold, we should be going up, but again, it's not. Nothing is working as expected at the moment. The market is scared to death. Everything's being held either in a holding pattern or is going off the scale, isn't it? So gold sideways, DAX sideways, Aussie, New Zealand off the charts, yen collapsing. Everything else is just plain weak. So the only things really I think we want to be looking for is shorts on the euro still. But then again, you've got to try and get into it, haven't you? EN at weekly lows. Euro New Zealand is coming down. towards these lows. We've just taken out this level. But again, just be very, very careful trying to long the euro. Look what happens when we just got embedded. We did get the bounce, but obviously this was the war starting. But just be careful down here. There's that sort of movement is potentially going to happen where we just get a bounce, an accumulation, little bounce, and then a drop sort of thing. So difficult to long the euro. It's difficult to long the euro at the best of times, and at the minute, this thing's really not very happy. This was obviously news, fake news. It's all fake news about the euro. I read an article the other day about how the euro is being manipulated, and to the verge of fraud, where the European Central Bank is doing so much manipulation and buying of its currency and bonds and all this sort of thing that it's verging on illegal in other countries' eyes, because they are trying to prop up a currency which is actually worse than it actually looks. Look how bad it is. So, they're saying this thing is being manipulated to look more positive than it is. Look how negative it looks when they're manipulating it to look as if it's positive. What on earth outlook has the euro got if they're making this look like a pretty picture? Yeah, just don't want to be long in this thing, really, at all. And as you saw from the trades I took last week, they're not on this one. What did I take trades on the euro? I can't remember which I shorted last week. Euro CAD. You just don't get out, basically. If you get a trade on the euro and it goes into profit, switch up to the daily. Do yourself a favour. Switch up to the daily. Don't get out until it gives you a green candle. You'll have made so much money. Really, it's just a case of trying to find these entries. You're not going to get many of them when they come along. You've got to jump on them with both feet, basically. There was my TP look on that trade. I'm just being super cautious at the minute. I think I'm being too cautious at the moment, but I'd rather be too cautious and sort of have a break-even, low-profit month than get caught out on this stuff at the minute, because it's all over the place. DAX is stalled up at the highs. Loads of rejection just came in up at those highs there. But again, as I say, I don't really know where this one's going today. If we're going to hold this level somewhere up there, this is your next sort of support resistance level at 147.37, which is ADR today. But that'll have to be a big old day to get us up there, so we'll see. But yeah, if you're going to trade the open this afternoon, good luck. Hopefully you can make some. Just try and be cautious. If you can get the profit in the bank early, take it. I should have done that this morning myself. I had 0.5% this morning at the open and before the open. Really starting to think that 0.5% a day is good. That's 10% a month. It's difficult to not want more when you've had some really decent months. But at the minute, it's very, very hard psychologically to keep getting chopped around like this at the opens. So news-wise, be aware of PMI this afternoon at 3 o'clock, so half an hour after the New York Open. And then tomorrow, we've got FOMC tomorrow evening. We've got crude tomorrow as well, but FOMC. So this is where we could really shake it up with the US dollar tomorrow. So US dollar, we've obviously had a little bit of weakness showing. It's been very up and down, the US dollar. No real strength in numbers on that one. But we're kind of back to levels where I think we should see potentially a little bit more strength starting to show. So it's up and down with the US at the minute. But FOMC tomorrow, they may well announce something to shake the US dollar up. But again, it can obviously go either way, and we obviously have flat FOMCs, don't we? The last one, I think it was, we had where literally I came back from my class and it didn't look like FOMC had actually happened. Had to question, did we actually have it? Nothing happened. So it's real hit and miss FOMC at the moment. Same with non-farm payroll as we saw on Friday last week. Starting to roll over a little bit. Watch these lows. We could see breakout rejection on the DAX here. Equally pullback long potential. So okay guys, so I'll be back tomorrow morning, and then we'll see if we can squeeze something out of this tomorrow morning. But if you're going to carry on this afternoon, good luck, and I will see you in the morning. Have a good one.